Hey everybody, this is John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com. And today, before we were getting ready to do this video, Jackie and I were talking about what we're going to talk about. and
Nothing like waiting until the last minute.
Exactly. But she came up with a great topic, and that has to do with the fact that a lot of swingers swing for the sex, and that's it. And they have rules around that. You know, it's only about sex. Don't have any conversation. They'll come to or they'll go to a swingers club, have sex with their couple, and then leave and never talk to them again.
And now, don't get us wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
There's a lot of couples that get into the swinging lifestyle, enjoy the swinging lifestyle for that very reason. There doesn't have to be any kind of attachment towards anyone. They can just come with their partner and enhance their relationship that way, and then they can go back home and carry on about their life. And we have a lot of people that's exactly why they're involved in it.
And the reason this conversation or this topic came up is because we have had some comments lately from couples that where maybe half of the couple wants a little bit more or has somehow started some type of an emotional relationship with the partner they're playing with. And then the other partner might not feel very good about that. They might have some fear, or as you mentioned, Jackie, there might be some trust issues there as to why they wouldn't want them to have some kind of an emotional or a friendship with someone else.
Well, and I think too, and this again, as we were having this conversation, one of the topics that came up was the view that we have a lot of times with the way we were raised, and I know, I'm speaking for me, is a partnership is two people. You and your partner, and that's it. It's you against the world, and that's how your world revolves. You're not given the option to even think about having someone else come into that partnership in the sense of, even from a friend standpoint, because again, we're raised to think that we have this finite amount of emotion towards each other. And if someone else is introduced into that, then it's going to have a bearing on that relationship. Mm-hmm. Again, I know for me, when we were first swinging and I was first being introduced to this lifestyle, that was something that I came head to head with, is, John obviously had a life before we were together, and he had a lot of friendships with men and women. And, for John to be able to carry on those friendships and those relationships was a learning curve for me, not so much with the guys. I didn't have any sense, there wasn't a threat involved with him being friends with his guys, but somehow I had this perception that these women were going to create some kind of a comparison, or I was in some kind of race with these women to maintain John's emotions towards me. And I think that can really play a role in wanting us to stay away from the emotion standpoint of swinging. And I think those two things can go hand in hand if we take the time to kind of walk ourselves through it.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even just swinging. I have a close friend that a few years ago, his wife of many years had gone out to lunch with a coworker that was a guy. And they had responded, they had messaged each other and so forth, and it really bothered my friend. No sex involved, just a coworker. And to this day, he still resents her for that, and told me the other day, he says, I don't know that I'll ever get over it. And that's in a monogamous relationship. That kind of fear that we're unable to let go of because of the way we're raised today. It really is just ingrained in our psyche that we are only supposed to be with one person, to the point you can't even talk with someone of the opposite sex without that fear coming into play. And you'd mentioned that some of that might have to do with trust and how much we trust our partner, which that ties in with fear. Because if we have this fear that we're going to lose, if I fear I'm going to lose you because you're talking to someone, so they go hand in hand, the trust aspect of it and the fear I have of losing you. If I trust you 100% and love you unconditionally, and want to see you happy, and you get happy instead of talking to somebody for whatever it's about, why in the world would I have fear of that?
Well, and this is the other thing about trust. It's not just so much about you trusting your partner, but it's about believing what your partner says to you. You know, when John says he loves me, I trust that that's what he means. And he shows me that, not only verbally, but through his behavior towards me. So if John says, Jackie, I love you so much, you know, I can't imagine a day going by without you in it. If he has a conversation with another woman, that love that he and I share is not affected by that. Now, society will want you to believe that it is and that it should be, but it doesn't.
Actually, it is the opposite.
It does the opposite. And this is, you know, that's what's really interesting about trust and fear and emotion, and whether you're swinging or whether you're in a monogamous relationship. It's this whole conglomeration of emotions that are kind of swirling, and it's a matter of being able to align everything so that it flows and that you have really kind of that you have control of that orbit, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I have really learned in my progression through swinging is it's not so much whether I am emotionally attached to someone or not emotionally attached to someone, or whether we're swinging together or whether we swing apart. The core of John and I is John and I, and our love for each other, the trust we have for each other. And so that enables us to be able to expand who we are together, to incorporate all of these other lives, all of these other emotions, all of these other personalities, and enrich our life through that. You know, it's a big topic, and I think there'll probably be a part 2 to this, just because it's a hard thing to grasp sometimes, that it is possible to be in a union, yet to be able to go ahead and say, yes, I like this person, and it's okay. It doesn't affect the love that we have towards each other.
Not in a negative way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does affect it sometimes in more of a positive way, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know, and like I said, I think in our next video, we can talk about the pros and the cons of this. I just wanted to bring it to light that just because we're taught a certain way about something doesn't necessarily mean that's the only thought pattern for it. I just want to introduce a different way to look at that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, everybody, for watching our videos, and be sure and sign up on openlove101.com and subscribe to our email list where you'll receive updates on our videos and our upcoming blogs. Jackie's a contributor now to some other online sites. We can let you know about those. And look for part 2 of this episode we just gave you today. See ya.